We talked about agronomics. What do you see as you've built a heck of a business there in a pretty competitive market. As we got a lot of other lawn operators on the phone on the webinar, what would you say is advice for growing their business from your experiences?
Well, I think we're all facing the same challenges in a tight labor market. And I don't see any change in that coming in the near future. So what we've had to do is kind of look at how can we get more out of what we've got. And we've spent a lot of time, money, and effort to make our guys more efficient, basically. We've got really good techs. Most of our techs have been with us for over 5 years. And we let them deal with their own customers. The customers have their cell phone numbers. We create the overall effect of here's your program, and then let them make adjustments as they needed when they're in the field. But the customers seem to really like having the same person on the lawn every time. And that's been a big hit with our customers, that they know who they call, they know who they're dealing with. We actually get a few customers who get mad when they're on the fringe of a route that we have to condense a little bit, and they think they're going to get cut to another guy. And it gets kind of funny. They're like, I'm leaving if you take me out of this person's route. And but that's been a huge help. We've actually lowered our cancellation rate by 4% overall. So we're down to about 15% now from 19% when we started to implement this. And we've been able to increase the efficiency of those guys from about $150,000 per route per man to around an average of $225,000.
Wow.
And some of that's been in better routing, some's been in working with the guys better, and some of it's been in better trucks, better equipment, giving them the best tools that we can put out there. This is a truck we just picked up, and I know somebody's already noticed there's no hoses on the reel, but this was a truck we actually, we all start out generally with a pickup truck and a tank in the back. It limits you to one application per site. So we started over the years, improving the mousetrap. So this is our latest truck. We've just picked it up. We've got to pull the tanks out and plumb it and wire the reels. But this truck allows us to do 5 different applications of liquid at the same stop.
Wow.
We've got a 400-gallon lawn tank in the front, a 200-gallon tree tank, and then 2 110s off the back, plus we can carry granular. So in 2 separate pumping systems. The tree is always on its own pumping system. The other ones, we can go back and forth. We can mix in together. We have a lot of options for the guys when they get out there. They also have dry storage underneath for, bed pre-emergence, stuff like that. The doors open up, and basically it's allowed the guys to pull up at a stop, do their second lawn, their second tree, a fungicide, and an insect control at the same time, instead of having to come back or rely on somebody else to come back.
Right.
So, that's really helped the guys get more efficient. It lets us get more money out of our assets and what we're putting into it. And I don't have to have as many guys out there.
Yeah.
I'm not turning it over as fast.
I'll tell you, that's some really good points, Jonathan. I mean, if we just kind of think about what Jonathan just said, I hear a lot of people in the industry focus on retention rates of customers, and Jonathan touched on that. Obviously, if we can improve the retention rate of our customers, we can do less marketing and grow our business. And he's at 15% with a customer base of Jonathan's size. That's a really low cancel rate. If you're treating 200 lawns and you're the owner operator, you may have a lower cancel rate than that because you know every single person personally. When you get into 13 trucks, 15% is about as good as it gets. But here's the piece that I thought was really interesting that we just learned, which is that Jonathan focuses not just on retention rate of customers, but almost ahead of that, he's focusing on retention rate of technicians. When he says each tech has been with the company for 5 years on average, I mean, that's tremendous. And if you think about all the problems we're dealing with labor shortages, technicians, good technicians that really care about their job and that we can continue to invest in year after year, that's probably the biggest bottleneck to growing most of our businesses beyond, a couple of trucks. And the way Jonathan's done that, if you heard what he just said, is he's chosen to invest into better equipment to make their technicians' lives easier, but also so they can get more revenue per truck. Because let's face it, if your technician's staying with you for 5 years, they're getting paid more than a guy who just started year one. And how do you continue to maintain profitability if you're going to have your technicians stick around and get raises every year? Well, one of the ways you can do that is to get more revenue out of every truck. So Jonathan went from 150 to 220, 150,000 per year to 220,000 per year by getting more efficient, by getting better equipment. And so invest in that equipment instead of hiring a bunch more people or having turnover of his people. Get better service and better retention. So neat stuff, Jonathan.
He also said something about the fact that he allows his techs, he empowers his techs.
Yeah.
In many ways, like the techs own the routes. They have, the customers have the cell phone numbers of techs. That's really cool.
Yeah. Empower them to make their own agronomic decisions and give them the tools to do things on the fly, that they can make some changes if they see something inappropriate. And they could do tree and lawn all at the same time with one stop because of that truck. Really neat, innovative stuff. I don't see this everywhere. And, I'm out all over the country, Jonathan, meeting lawn care operators every single day. And this is a pretty neat approach. So hats off to you.
So one thing I just wanted to add, like I said, I build their agronomic program to fit 80% of the properties we do. All right, that's my goal, is it'll cover 80%. The other 20% has to be done by the technicians. So when they get to a lawn that's not responding to our regular program, then we give them the tools to add extra stuff to that particular customer. And that's where we use, we're a liquid company other than fall apps, but then we bring in the granular Holganix, the healthy grow, the different products for them to add as a kind of as a boost if a lawn's just not responding yet and they want it to get it up. So we kind of give them that power as well to up those rates when they see fit. So, and that helps to get the customers up a little bit quicker without having to put it out on every single lawn. So we still get efficiency, but we still also get personalization that way.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's one of the reasons you built such a nice business.